Yeah, good afternoon, guys. This is me, your brother, your friend, your man is Steven. This afternoon, yeah, I'm still on this the Nigeria court case, and the topic this morning is why Governor Basiki cannot be exonerated. This very particular video became necessary as a result of messages that I received since the beginning of this very particular case. Many have called me and said, Human Steven, I'm being emotional in my broadcast because Governor Obaseki administration was also sued by the two Enigis, which is Edoland, who is the Nogi of Masiloko, and Gregory Akanzua, who is the Nogi of Evobanosa stroke Abudu. That these two men were actually the ones who sued the palace of the Oba of Benin, who sued the Oba of Benin, who sued the Benin Traditional Council, and also sued the Attorney General of the State and Commissioner of Justice. And they said, based on the information before us, it is becoming clear that the government of Obaseki had no hand in the case between the palace and the two Enigis. Having listened to the explanations and their takes on the impending crisis in Benin, I decided to make a public reply why I believed that the government of Edoland Obaseki cannot be exonerated from the crisis rocking the traditional institution in Edo South. And I want you guys to bear with me while I itemize and analyze why I am standing on the belief that the entire court process was orchestrated by the government of Edoland Obaseki. Someone also came to my wall and said, Human Steven, there was a time that the Oba of Benin actually praised the governor of Edo State for not aligning to the demands of these political Enogis. That if the Oba of Benin knew that the issue he had with the Enogi was actually being pushed by the government, he wouldn't have given such a kudos to the governor of the state. Now, they are what we call political statement and the reality. Now, this case between the palace and this suspended Enigis have been on ground for quite some time. Right, guys? And these two particular Enigis, after the suspension by the palace, after they took the palace to court, they, Gregory Akinzua and Edoland, had appeared in several meetings being called by the governor of the state. If they sue the governor as a defendant, as one who is aiding and abetting the Benin National Council, I am sure they wouldn't have answered the call of the governor when he actually calls. In most of the official photographs being taken after every series of meetings that they had, these two guys are actually the ones who are spearheading the other Enigis by standing at the front in every of the photographs. And somebody said, how will the governor react to their suspension if the palace have not written an official letter to the governor over the suspension of these Enigis? I think I actually got that one in the Comrade Stalin Sakonoko's war. When I read that, I shook my head. Number one, the Enigis, who are chiefs, were not appointed by the government. They were appointed by the palace. So therefore, the authority of the Enigis does not go beyond the decision of the palace. Let's put it in the business world. The Enigis or their dukedoms are subsidiaries of the palace of the Oba of Benin. They do not have any administrative link to the government of the state in all ramifications. They are appointees who were appointed to go and discharge some duties ascribed to them by His Royal Majesty. So in the first instance, the governor had no dealings with the Enogis in Edo South, in Benin Kingdom, because they had no political or constitutional obligation to the government of the state. Rather, their duties and obligations is to the palace of the Oba of Benin, who appointed them as dukes in each of these dukedoms. So, the moment the governor decided to give a listening ears to these Enigis, he had apparently given them the shoulders to lean on. The power be exhibited by Professor Gregory Akenzua and Edoland and many others who had refused to show themselves to the public came as a result of the listening ear that the governor gave to them from the onset. In 2023, the government of Obaseki paid their statutory allowances to the month of April or March and refused to pay them between April and June based on the letter that was written by these Eniges to the office of the governor. Before the government began to pay these Eniges directly, based on the status quo that has been on ground, it is the Benin Traditional Council that does the payment of all the Eniges in Edo South. The moment the governor bypassed the already established protocols, he had given powers to these Eniges to challenge the authority of the paramount ruler of Benin Kingdom. So why most of us are saying Obaseki cannot be exonerated from the court case is as a result of many of the things he had done before now. Oksu, after he had drawn this man very close to himself, he gave them the go-ahead to request for an autonomous kingdom within the Benin Kingdom. Listen, guys, Obaseki might not have said it openly, but his body language would have given Gregory Akenzua the green light to go towards the direction of dismantling the Benin Kingdom. The suspension of Eniges had been in existence from time immemorial, even before the coming in of the recent paramount ruler of the Edo people. I've read about how Akenzua, the father of this very particular king, this particular Enogi, suspended some dukes in his reign. I've also read how the father of the present king, Oba Erediawa of blessed memory, suspended a lot of dukes in his time, which some of them till today are still under suspension. So, the idea of suspending Eniges had been part and parcel of the traditional mechanism in governing the kingdom of Benin. None of the Eniges in the past are taking the government and have taken the palace and the Benin Traditional Council to court at any given point in time for whatsoever reason. So that explains that there was the hand of Esau and the voice of Jacob in the travail that the palace is having today. When they wrote that very particular memo requesting for an autonomous kingdom within Edo South, the government of Obaseki wrote a memo in return saying he wants to implement the 1976 law. In that memo, which was in circulation early last year or mid last year, says that the Oba of Benin shall be the paramount or be the permanent chairman of the Benin Traditional Council. Trying hard to give autonomy to 7 other Enigis that they will be upgraded to the status of a king. Many of these Enigis rejected that offer, knowing fully well the already existing protocols in Benin Kingdom. These, everything I've just said today, are in the public domain for scrutiny. People today are not trying to put a political coloration to what is happening today in Benin Kingdom, as if it was the APC or the Labour Party or the NPP or whatever party it is that has actually cooked up this entire story and throw it to the public domain to use it as a campaign strategy against the incumbent governor and his political godson. We have forgotten that this entire series has been lingering for the past 1 year. It actually died because the case hasn't been called. What has actually resurrected this whole menace was as a result of the court case that was opened a few days back in Court 6 in Benin City. Those of us who have been following this case from the beginning, how are you going to convince us that Governor Norasa Obaseki had no hand in what the palace is going through? They've kept quiet all this while. They've been muted while this entire scenario was going on. How can a government want to bastardize an already existing government, even before the creation of the Western system of governance we call democracy today? How can a man whose family lineage are royalty will sit down and want to bastardize an already existing royalty? All for what reason? Have you actually sit down to ask why the government was fighting the palace over the artifacts that was stolen from the kingdom in 1897? Have you actually sat down to ask why the governor and his teams backed out from the already planned arrangement on where the museum that will house the Benin artifact will be kept, will be built? I mean, have you actually asked why the government of Obaseki decided to go and register a company who will not be the one that will pioneer the return of the artifact without the knowledge of the Oba of Benin, who are actually the custodian of the said artifacts. Have you actually asked yourself why the government of Obaseki today went to start building a museum without the consent of the owner of the artifacts till tomorrow? Guys, as soon as I see me here soon, I don't eat from any government. I'm actually one who defend my people with everything that I have. If we cannot be able to tell ourselves the truth because we are under the payroll of a government, then we are completely a disappointment to our generation. Somebody will tell you the Obaseki government does not have any issue with the palace. What are you telling me? Let's call a spade, guys. I've just enumerated facts that none of them, none of these political hunches on social media can deny. Me, I don't insult people. You get it now? If you feel what I'm saying is wrong, let's come out on a debate. I come with facts. I'm a political analyst. I give you the details. The everything you need to know, the onions, all the medes, I made it known to you. I don't come here to insult people. I give you facts. I put it on your table. Nobody can be able to exonerate the governor from the travail that the palace is going through. Nobody. I've just enumerated, I've just listed, itemized all that have happened from the beginning to now. Based on fact and figures, the reason why they wanted to bastardize the Benin Kingdom is because of the artifacts. After the fall, there was a fallout between the palace of the governor, the palace of the Oba of Benin, and the office of the governor of the state over the return of the stolen artifact by the British. Then there was a gazette by the government of President Muhammadu Buhari that the right, it is the right of the palace of the Oba of Benin as the original owner and the custodian of the Benin custom and tradition to take possession of the artifacts and all the benefits that was coming with it. After that was gazetted, that gave the palace of the Oba of Benin the full right, the full responsibility to be the custodian of the stolen, returned artifacts. As the only paramount ruler in Edo South, hear this now. Do you know that each of these artifacts comes from each different dukedoms, come from each different persons? Like we have the Igun, for example, now. There are different people from different entities who had this artifact put together and taken to the palace in those days. The idea of trying to now bastardize the kingdom is to now make sure that all these artifacts that were being returned will not be dragged with the palace of the Oba by each of these mini kingdoms that they were about to create. Okay, now guys. So that's okay. Maybe this very man now, this Ebobanosa, will not be a kingdom of his own in Odiomo. There are some artifacts that came from Odiomo in the palace of the Oba of Benin that they will not say, yeah, this. They will not say, yes, this very particular kind of artifacts or kind of bronze were synonymous to the people of Orion. So it was us who actually designed this very particular artifact. They will now drag it from the upper and take to their kingdom, where Obaseki and his government will now go and pick it from and take to the museum. They will now go to the Ogiame people and say, okay, this one was from Ogiame, blah, 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 blah. Then they will not drag it from the Oba and take to the Ogiame palace. The Obaseki can now go and take it from Ogiame and take it to his museum. So they're going to do with the sixth kingdom he was about to create in Edoland. The idea of the sixth kingdom was to weaken the authority of the Oba. Prove me wrong, guys. When that failed, they decided to now use this court case to actually tarnish and reduce the power of the Oba of Benin. All this old brouhaha is orchestrated by the political elites today of the PDP extraction. APC not good though, because they are the same. PDP, APC, they are the same government. Leave them. They are all the same. APC, PDP, they are one and the same. No difference, guys. And just to forget that matter, say APC, PDP, they are all, even all the political parties in Nigeria, they are all the same. They are liars, they are cheaters, they are a bunch of criminals. So I have no regard for any of them. The mistake I made in 2020, I will not make it again to vote for anyone. Never. I won't campaign for anyone. Never. I can't trust any of them. They are all criminals. If Obaseki can do us what he did to us in Edo State today, there's nobody that we ever trust again. Never, as far as politicians are concerned. Nothing. They are a bunch of criminals. They always concerned about themselves, and themselves. No one else. So whatever I'm doing today is not for political motives. The reality is what I'm giving before you guys. Oh, Beverly is not an option. Ighodalo is not an option. Even this man, Apata, is not an option today. As far as I'm concerned, they are one and the same group of people. Bunch of criminals. That's what they are. So, it's not for political reasons. I'm just trying to say the Benin Kingdom is what we are fighting to keep. The sanctity of that kingdom is what many of us are fighting to keep, to remain the way it had been from time immemorial. If any of these people believes what I've just said is not true, then we can call for a debate. Fact. That's what I do. This is not political, but I'm fighting for the palace. Nothing more. And lastly, guys, somebody said, why are the APC using this very particular incident that is happening now as a means to campaign? In politics, every mistake of your opponent is a campaign strategy. Also, is Ighodalo and Osadion Ogie should call Obaseki to order. It's limiting their chances of winning the next election. This is the truth. Whatsoever they need to do to take the palace away from the center of political issues, they should do it right now. Because if they don't, it will boomerang against them. That is the fact. What they saw happened on the day of the hearing is a testament to what the Benin will do if this case linger beyond where it is right now. They should use their closeness to the governor and call him to order. He has 5 months to go. Should not destroy your chances of winning a free and fair election. So don't blame the APC, don't blame the Labour Party for using this whole issue as a campaign strategy to weaken your chances in Edo South of winning the election. Because I see your boys on social media trying to say that they are taking advantage of this whole menace. It was created by the governor, and his political opponent will take advantage of it to their best interest to win in any political terrain. That's the truth of the matter there. If you don't want that to happen, then the government should be called to order to desist from further dragging the authority of the Oba of Benin with the Oba. Then your opponent will have nothing to use against you. But as long as you keep on trying to reduce the authority of the Oba in its domain, the people of Benin and your political opponent will continually to use it against you, knowing fully well the power that the Oba possesses as far as the Edo South is concerned. Even there, if you go to Delta State today, they are all angry now over what is happening in Benin. Someone wrote and said, if what is happening in Benin now is allowed to go through, other dukedoms all over the Niger Delta will begin to rise up and fight against their paramount rulers for autonomy. Everybody's already seeing the handwriting of the menace that is being created or being sponsored by this present government. So don't blame your opponent when they use your mistake as a weapon to beat you hands down. The truth of the matter is this, the APC are not even using it because the APC said they don't even have a candidate to sell. That is why they are not taking advantage. They are not taking advantage of the situation because they don't even have a candidate. That's why it's difficult for them to even do much to take advantage of this whole crisis. It's not still too late for Aso Igodalo and Ogie to resolve back to status quo and go back to their drawing board and do the right thing. Because Obaseki have messed up your chances. Believe it or not. You are struggling now to penetrate the Edo South. Because your base before supposed to be Edo South. Edo North is a no-go area as far as Oshomole is concerned. Edo Central will not be a 50-50 because they're going to be issue of Opebolo being an Esaman and Igodalo as an Esaman. There are some part of the Esaman people that we want to vote for Opebolo. There's a part of the Esaman people that want to vote for Igodalo. So the APC already have Edo North and part of Edo Central to their name. Where the PDP is supposed to have actually sat down and have a comfortable lead was in Edo South. But today it has been messed up by the plans orchestrated for greedy or for whatsoever reason, I don't know. If it's for greed or whatever, I don't know. Now it's now making Igodalo and Ogie to now start dragging to see what they can be able to get. This is the truth right now, guys. If you don't know that the entire of Vienna is already on the shoulder of what's his name? Honorable Dowsa. Yes. So if you guys don't think we are political strategists, we are political analysts, we see it the way it is. The Oredo area today is going to be a big blow for PDP. This is the truth, guys. So you guys should go back now and begin to fix the mistake that Obaseki has done. as far as the palace is concerned. If not, you all know what happened in 1982. Go and ask people. Okay? What happened in 1982? What happened in 1992? Go and ask. Back in 1992, what happened in 1992? Between the Benedion, Lucky Benedion, and Odigi Oyegu. Go and ask people. Go ask. I'm not sure Obaseki is as powerful as Gabriel Sabari Benedion. I'm not sure. This summer. I'm not sure you are as powerful as a summer in the early 90s. Go ask what happened. The same mess that Obaseki is messing up today, that's what happened then. When the then Obairediawa made a pronouncement a day to election. Nobody knew Yigu. He beat Lucky Benedion hands down. Go ask questions, guys. You don't play with any people when it comes to the palace. So. You don't. Don't say pastor for that one. When I go ask, I'm telling you what, I'm giving you facts. Go and ask. If you were born then, go ask. If you have grown to the level of understanding, go ask what happened between Lucky Benedion and Odigi Oyegu. How Odigi Oyegu became a governor in Edo State. Obaseki cannot be exonerated from what is happening to the palace, guys. Now me talk. Share this video. Any of them, if you say I wait here, I talk not correct, I challenge them for a political debate. They never burn that person. It's not a joke. I challenge the person for a political debate. Who will tell me that what I'm saying is not true? Let's come aside. No, wait here too. Now you both know what we did in 2020. We were campaigning. We were campaigning with facts and figures. Now we fight for Obaseki. None of these miscreants in Benin. They did not know as Obaseki to win the heart of the diasporans. We did it. Well, it was one of the strong voice of Obaseki in 2020. Go ask. May governor go check in WhatsApp. The number he gave to us in 2020. You go and check that WhatsApp. He saw my videos. He saw my recommendations. But guys, on the 15th, let's shut Edo down. Tell your family at home. 15th, let us all move to the courtyard. From there, we'll move to Obaseki's house in Osadebe Avenue. We'll go ask him, waiting Oba do and may tell us. May remove hand for about Oba matter. Take hand come out. Take hand come out. Take hand, make it remove your hand. And that boy, what is his name? Chris. The commissioner of information and orientation said it's a fight of two brothers. My guy, that was who you talk, you know well. Who write that speech for you? Who even approved that speech? You know well. Something is wrong with your head. How they curse people. Let me tell you something. The day a king is enthroned into the kingdom, is no more a brother to anybody. He's not a father of all. Okay? The very day a king is enthroned, is no more a brother to anybody. He's not a father of all. He's the owner of everybody, even including his mother. So they say it's a fight of two brothers. That was a wrong statement that ought to be made by an intelligent person like you. You see how you put disrespect the kingdom with your utterances. You don't get sense. It's not a fight of two brothers. Does the kingdom belongs to the Akenzwas? Was Gregory Akinzo the first brother to the first uncle to a seated king? By law, by right, if this Gregory comes to the palace of the Babini, he will have to bow down before the throne. How will you say they are brothers? Are you guys normal? This is what most of us are believing, that you guys are already instigating these people to disrespect the palace with your stupid utterances. You guys have traveled well and near. You mean the king is enthroned, is in charge. Every other person is under their subjects. There's no brother anymore. You guys will just be messing up with your chances. Say this is a fight of two brothers. Who told you they are brothers? Thank you guys. Until we see tomorrow again. My name is Humanist Steve. God bless you. And bye for now.